Can Tim Tebow survive the New York stage, all of this?
I think he can survive it. It's going to be difficult, but I think that he's going to be so polarizing. It's going to be a similar situation to what we've experienced last season. You're going to have New Yorkers who are diehard football fans that are going to look at the fact that he can't throw. You're going to have others, you know, a lot of religious folks, I might add, who are going to stand up and they're going to think about the vision beyond football, what a role model he is, the value system, how that's something that needs to be perpetuated and illuminated in our society. And as a result of that, they are going to rally and they are going to push for Tim Tebow to have a certain level of support, and they're going to push for him to be that guy because they consider him to be a paragon of virtue. It is ultimately an indictment against the professional sports culture that exists today. And because of that, they are going to rally some troops, and he's going to have very, very significant support. And that's where the divide is. And by the way, that's no fault of Tebow's. That, in that sense. I want to make that very clear. I have never blamed him for that because everything about his life seems to be consistent with the character he tries to disseminate. So that's not, and I don't have a problem with religious folks that want him to be the kind of image we perpetuate through our eyes. I don't think, and I think people mistake that they think I'm being critical of that. I am in no way being critical of that. Right. I'm just saying that we live in a society where that's going to be very, very polarizing. It's going to be heightened because it's New York, but it is what it is.
I definitely think Tebow won the press conference the other day.
No question. I agree.
In fact, I don't quite know how to explain this. I thought he intimidated the New York media, or at least that the media gave him an introductory pass the other day, because I didn't hear many of the tougher questions I thought I would hear. Cross-examining his faith and all the things that he believes that goes with it. And, man, I don't know. We know what New York City is a melting pot. And there are a whole lot of religious folks in New York City who don't believe what Tim Tebow believes. So I'm going to suggest to you, we've only just begun for Tim Tebow here, that he's going to feel like he's walking through the valley of the shadow of death pretty soon. He's going to get some really hard questions. He's going to get tested like never before. And you know and I know that media will scrutinize him on and off the field, waiting for one little slip up to say, gotcha.
Well,
that's coming. You know that.
May I say something to you that has never been said, that I don't think has ever been said to you, Skip? I think he's already slipped up. And let me tell you how. Peyton Manning signs a $96 million contract. And we're hearing about Peyton Manning being in Denver on a high school football field throwing to potential teammates, things of that nature. Where's Tim Tebow at? In Hollywood and now in Gotham City. You know, he's got CAA and IMG representing him. He's got,
William Morris.
William Morris. I apologize, William Morris. You know, and you have his brother Robbie, I believe his name is. You know, pushing his brand. You're showing up for paid appearances in environments that aren't indicative of the character. Now, you might not be the one drinking and smoking, and you might not be the one chasing fine honeys and all of this other stuff, but you're in those kind of in confines, that environment, subjecting yourself to a level of temptation that you spew that you're not all about. So when you think about the heightened scrutiny, where New York comes into play that's different from Denver or anywhere else, is that people are going to scrutinize because it's Gotham City, it's Temptation Island, and it's a situation where we know, oh, this is here, this is here, this is here. What are you doing there? What are you doing a part of this? Why are you here? Tim Tebow has contributed to that to pad his wallet. And somebody at some point is going to call him on it. And I can guarantee you that, because if somebody don't do it, it'll be me.
Okay. Well, I'm with you on this. In all seriousness, as a Tebow supporter, I am very concerned about Tim Tebow on this stage. I think he's about to get pulled in so many directions by so many different arms, marketing, religious arms, that he just might get pulled to pieces if he isn't careful. And I agree with your point. As soon as I saw Peyton was throwing at a local high school, I thought, man, Tim ought to be throwing at a local high school.
Now, in defense of Tim, whether you want to acknowledge it or not, He is the backup quarterback.
No, I
and how
get
many
it.
times
So
have
how
we
many
ever heard
receivers? Okay,
a backup quarterback come in and
but
start
what I'm-
calling
but
receivers
I know,
and say,
I-
can I
I-
work
What I'm
with
saying
you?
to you, Jay, is this. He is a backup quarterback.
Right.
And he knows he's a backup quarterback.
Right.
And he knows he has work to do.
He has big work
So
to do.
my point is, if you know all of those things, combined with what my man Skip Bayless just broke down to you,
Right.
the fact that you seem to be so distracted is an indictment in itself.
Okay,
because
that
you
angle
should
of it
be,
is fair.
because you
We're
should
going-
be
that
you
angle
should
of it's
be
fair. Yeah.
locked in and focused on
Right.
being what you profess you want to be, and that is a NFL quarterback.
That has to come first.
That has to come
before you
first.
seize the platform
There we
that is
go.
New York City.
Sure.
Because in the grand scheme of things, he does have a lot of work to do. And look, his goal is to be a missionary, to spread the word of God. But first, you got to be a successful football
That
player.
platform is
And
bigger
all
if
this-
he's successful.
Yeah. And so I'm fearful of all. We're going to do a topic a little later about how he's now said to be the #1 most marketable male in the world. Careful.